Hello and welcome, student. Before we start solving previous tests and exams, I would like to make this important disclaimer. The following will be just a practice exam, and it's only intended for revision purposes only. So it has nothing to do with your actual exam. It is not a model for your exam. It's just for you to revise, to test yourself, to practice more, keep yourself with a timer, be in the exam environment. You shouldn't assume the actual exam will be identical to this one. It's also crucial before you start viewing this review is that you complete all the homework problems, look at the lecture notes, and watch the previous video to ensure a thorough preparation for the exam. This is only a practice exam. It's just for revision. It will not help you understand the material. You need to do the homework, lecture notes, watch the videos before you come and see this exam. Okay, now we will see a previous exam, which is the second semester of the last year. And the first question, we are giving you the revenue function, R of X. The first question is we asking you what is the marginal revenue when 100 units are sold. Remember, the word marginal revenue, it's another word for the word derivative. So this marginal revenue means we need to find the derivative when 100 units are sold. So if we solve this question, part A, the first thing is we need to find what is the derivative of x. And the derivative of x is 25x, the derivative of x is 1, negative 0.02 times what is the derivative of x squared, it's just 2x. So here we just write 2x. And the final answer is 25 negative 0.04x. All what we need to do next is we need to substitute instead of x by the number given in the question, which is 100. And that's exactly what we need to do. So 100, 100, and we just find the final answer. We plug everything in our calculator. It will be 21, and the unit will be $21 per unit. What this means if we sell one more unit after 100, which means basically if we go from 100 to 101 units, the revenue is expected to increase by $21. That's the expectation for the revenue. So that's what we will get. Now, that's we finish from the first question. We go to the next question. We need to find R100 minus R101 minus R100. This is a direct substitution for part P. So we need to find R of 101 minus R of 100. What we need to do, we need to go and use our calculator. Instead of this, we write 101. Instead of this, we write 101. We find the answer. So this will be just 25 times 101 minus 0.04 V101 101. This gives us 2106.96 minus, we do the same calculations, but this time we just use 100. I'm sorry, this one has a mistake here. It will be 2320.98, and then we do the same calculation for 100. It will be 2320. If we take the difference between them, it will be 320. Let me just 0.98. We'll just have to revise my calculation. Just give me a second. Two three two zero. So this will be 20 here. Will be this amount here, which is almost equivalent to the $20 we found using the derivative. The exact change will be 20.98, which is almost equivalent to that one. And that's what we have here. Okay. So those are the two answers. Second question is, if we have the total cost function for certain product is given by this formula, use the definition of derivative. Remember, definition of derivative is the one that has a limit where h goes to 0. So for this one, we can do it slowly. The derivative will be just limit as h goes to 0. And here we write s minus c of x divided by h. And instead of writing x in the first one, we write x plus h. So here, we'll just have to go with everything as we did before. H. First step, what we write here is the original function in this bracket. What is the original function? It's given here. So this will go here, and here will reach here. So this means you write 2x squared plus x plus 4. Now you repeat the same function, but don't write x yet. Keep x, we will write it later. Okay. Now, instead of x, we write x plus h, x plus h. And now, finally, is the answer. So, we have to open the brackets. So here we have 2. Now, do you remember how we do the x plus h squared? This is like a plus b all squared, which is the first square plus 2ab plus b squared. That's how we expand this one here. So it will be x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus x plus h plus 4 minus, and now the minus will go inside everywhere, minus 2x squared minus x minus 4. Next, we just write down the function, so that we get 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared plus x plus h plus 4 minus 2x squared minus x minus 4. And finally, we do the cancellations. If there are any cancellations, I can see that 2x squared with 2x squared. I can see x with x. I can see 4 with negative 4. Let me write what is the remainder. The remainder will be 4xh, 2h squared plus h equal to limit when h goes to 0. Now we take h as common factor. We get 4x plus 2h plus 1 divided by h. Cancel h with h. What is remaining is the following. 4x plus 2h plus 1. If we substitute h equal to 0, the final answer will be 4x plus 1, and that's the final answer for the derivative by definition. So you can look at this solution. What we did, we used the definition of the limit. We substitute every x by x plus h. We expand the square. We distribute the 2. We distribute the minus. We did cancellation. We take h common factor. And finally, we substitute h equal to 0. We get 4x plus 1. Thus, these are the written part of this exam. Now we'll go to the multiple choice part. So the multiple choice part, and the first question is to find the limit. And this limit should be very simple. We did many of the questions similar to this one. The first step, as usual, we do direct substitution. We get 0 over 0. Next step, we need to factor. How do we factor? Of course, x plus 1, you cannot factor it anymore. But now here you have quadratic function. So we will factor it if you use the calculator using mod 5-3. Now, if you use mod 5-3, the calculator will ask you for 3 numbers. The number in front of x squared, the calculator call it a in the formula. B, the number in front of x, and c is the number alone. So you will write a equal 1, b equal minus 2, and c equal minus 3. You will get, if you use the quadratic formula, you will get 2 numbers. You need to write them here. Now, if you do it correctly, the first number you will get is negative 1. So it would be negative 1. The second number would be 3. Of course, negative with negative, I can just go ahead and put it plus. So far, so good. And the good news is I can cancel this with this. So you will end up with limit x goes to negative 1 for x negative 3, which is just negative 1, negative 3. The final answer is negative 4, and that corresponds to the answer, which is D. So we finish from the first question in the multiple choice. Second question, we have a total revenue for a blender given by this formula. What is the average rate of change when R of x increases from 5 units to 10 units? Well, we have a formula for that, for the average rate of change. So what is average rate of change? It will be equal R of 10 minus R of 5 divided by 10 minus 5. That's the average rate formula. It is R of B minus R of A divided by B minus A. Of course, 10 minus 5, this is 5. What we need to do next, we need to plug in here 10. If we do that, we will get 180. Next, we need to plug in 5, we get 140. So the final answer will be 40 divided by 5, and that's just 8. So the answer will be just 8. That's the average rate of change. Let's go to question number 3, which is a very nice question, because if you focus on the function that we need to find the derivative, you will notice that this is a constant function. It has no x. So no x. If we have a function which has no x, we know what's the derivative. The derivative is exactly as expected, and it will be just 0. And that's the derivative that we are looking for. So we finished 3 questions quickly here. Next is we need to find the derivative of this function. So the first step, let me write the function in a better way. This is 1 over 3 minus, this is x negative 2. If we take x squared up, it will be negative 2. Next, we will do x power 4. Now we can do the derivative. So we have 3. What is the derivative of x power 1 over 3? The first step, 1 over 3 will go down. So we get 1 over 3. And then we subtract 1. So we get negative 2 over 3. Minus. The negative 2 will go down and we subtract 1. plus the 4 will go down and we subtract 1, we get this one. If we simplify this one, it will be just x. It will be just x negative 2 over 3 plus 2x negative 3 plus 4x3. Now, if you look at those answers, none of them looks like this one. What happened is, in all those answers, the x is in the denominator. So because we have a negative power, let's take it down. So the final answer will be 1 over x 2 over 3 plus 2 over x power 3 plus 4x power 3. And that's what we need to do. Now, if we choose which one is the correct answer, we can see that this is correspond to the first one. Question number 5, we need to find the point on this curve where the tangent line is horizontal. Remember, tangent line is horizontal. What is the tangent line? Tangent line, it means the derivative is horizontal, which means the derivative or the slope is equal to 0. Because it's horizontal, the slope is 0. Now, what's the derivative? Derivative of this function is easy. It is 4x negative 5 equal to 0. So x equal 5 over 4. However, none of those answers have x equal 9 over 4, so I will go with none of these. Next question. I'm giving you the cost function. Find the instantaneous rate of change, and this is another word of saying find the derivative. Now, we find the derivative. What is the derivative? It is 100 negative 0.02x. All what you need to do is to substitute the value given to me by x, which is 100. So the final answer will be this one here. It will be 98. So we just go ahead and we choose 98. That's the 3 questions here. That's how we do them. Shall we go to the next one? Which is this one. Well, here is a good question. Here I have u, and I have u equal to this one. So let's do this one first. So we have to use the chain rule. The chain rule says you do u, and then you do power of 5. After we finish, we have to find the derivative of u. What is the derivative of u? It is 3x squared. So the final answer will be 5 power of 4 3x squared. Now what is u? u is x cubed plus 3. Now we ask ourselves, which one of these is the same answer? It is the one with 15 in front of it. Next is this one. We need to find y prime. So here I have the following. I have something to the power of 4, so the 4 will go down. This is the 4 will go down, and it will become power 3. Keep the inner function. This is, remember, this is inner function. We keep it as it is, and then we need to find the derivative of the inner, which will be just 9. Now there is cancellation, 4 with 4. So the final answer will be 9x power 3, which looks like C exactly. The last question is this one, which we will do it again using the chain rule. So if you use the chain rule, it says power of a 3. All what you need, take 3 down and subtract 1. So I will take 3 down, I subtract 1, I get 2. Keep the inner without changing the inner. And now do for me the derivative of the inner. How do we do the derivative of the inner? We use the quotient rule. So use the quotient rule. What is the quotient rule? It is the denominator square, denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus numerator times the derivative of the denominator, which is 1. Now, this equal to 3 square x plus 1 times x plus 1 squared. Now, if we simplify this one, we get only 1 in the top. Now, we ask ourselves, none of these looks like my answer. So what I will do, I will take the square for both. So it will be 3x squared divided by x plus 1 squared times x plus 1 squared. Now, if we do this one correctly, this will be 3x squared, and how many brackets down here? We have 3. X squared, we have, 4. Now, which one of these should be my answer? It is number, part P. And that's it. That's how we solve this exam. I hope you enjoyed learning how we solve a practice exam. I would like to advise you to do this exam again by yourself so that you can get more and more experience with it.